Hey, it's Michelle coming to you with some kitchen inspiration and making a simple dinner tonight. I got a head of cabbage from the farm stand and I thought that I would make this dinner that we really like. It's called egg roll in a skillet or egg roll in a bowl, I forget which. Anyway, it's a Pampered Chef recipe. It's on my website, so if you go there, you can find it. But egg and roll are two separate words. So I put a pound of sweet Italian sausage in here in my 5-quart, 11-inch Brilliance skillet, and I'm using my mix and chop. This is an old one. Yours would be black. This is a one from many years ago from Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I just browned it all up, and I turned it down, and I'm going to get the rest of this recipe together now. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I have an onion. I'm grabbing my 5-inch Santuco knife from my Forged Cutlery, and get this onion together and put it, not together, I'm going to get it apart actually, and put it into the skillet next. So I'm just going to give that a hack. Grab my trusty many-year-old food chopper and beat up this onion. Guess I have to do this in two parts. That part is a little too big. So just as a tip, I bought my sausage in a block versus in links. If you can do that, it's easier because then you don't have to, take it out of the links, take it out of the skin. All right, put an onion in the pan, and just realized that I got the spatula out. I'm going to throw the spatula out. All right, so I'm going to start getting this onion sauteed up a little bit in with the sausage. This sausage was really good. It didn't have any, I didn't have to pour off any grease, which is odd. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is add a carrot, which I already peeled. Just going to hack it up and beat it up with my food chopper. So it's nice and small. I'm doing these vegetables in the order in which I want them to cook. As you know, I want your onions to cook down some. Whew, my eyes are watering. Strong onions. And carrots are hard, so they need to cook down some. All right, so they're going in. I'll give this another quick little stir. Okay, the next thing we're going to put in there is a red pepper. I always cut my red pepper from the bottom, cut it right around the seeds. Faster, easier. There we go, super easy. Hack, and I'm going to chop this up. You could slice these thinly if you'd rather, but the chopper's so fast. Gets everything nice and small. It's a great Christmas gift for somebody who doesn't have one. I know we're all starting to think about that now since it's the end of October. They will love you forever if you buy them a food chopper. But every time somebody I know gets one, after a couple of weeks they let me know. They're like, I don't know how I lived without this before. Why did I live so many years without a food chopper? If you get them one, always make sure you get them one of our good cutting boards. Either these cutting mat sets or one of the white hard cutting boards, white hard plastic ones, because you don't want them using it on a glass cutting board or a wooden cutting board, because those are going to dull your blades of your food chopper, which I've had my food chopper forever and the blades have never dulled. So got to use a good cutting board though. All right, I think I'm going to start with half of this head because the recipe actually calls for a bag of coleslaw mix, but I had this beautiful head of cabbage from the farm, so I decided to go with that instead. So I'm going to just cut this up thinly. That's why I added the carrot, because when you buy a bag of coleslaw mix, it has shredded carrot in it. So shredded carrots are not in the actual recipe when you look at the recipe, but they are because they're in the bag. So just in case that when you are looking at the recipe on the website, you think, I don't see carrots in here. It's because they're in that bag. All right. I'm gonna kind of look at this and decide if it needs more cabbage, because the recipe calls for 2 bags of coleslaw mix. So I don't know how that's equivalent to a head of cabbage. I figured it was about a half. That looks like about a bag, what it would be a bag. All right, now I've got everything in the pan. The next, I'm just gonna stir this up a little so it starts cooking down, because the cabbage needs to cook down a bit. And then I'm going to make my sauce, which is what makes this taste so good. Now you have a couple choices of how you serve this. You can serve it over rice, but we have eaten a lot of rice the last week. I'm tired of rice. Or you can serve it with like something crunchy like Chinese noodles. I'm hoping I have some of those in the closet from the last time I made this, but I'm not really sure, but we're going to figure it out eventually. All right, let me get this stuff out of the way here and pull my blender out. And I'm going to make the sauce in my deluxe cooking blender. Oops, dropped a soy sauce on my foot. Luckily it didn't hurt because it was mostly empty. Okay, so if you got to look inside my cooking blender, you see it has 6 blades instead of 2. And these blades, there's a serrated one, but these other ones are not sharp. And that's because this works based on the power of the motor, not the sharpness of the blades. Okay, so we're going to put in, and I like to make a little extra sauce with this. The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons. I'm going to double the sauce. I'll move this up a little higher so you can watch this. So it calls for 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, but I'm going to do 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you're looking for a Christmas gift for somebody who likes to bake, I have a real simple one, which would be our set of our adjustable measuring spoons. They come in a tablespoon and a teaspoon. This one slides from a teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons to 2 teaspoons to 2.5 teaspoons to a tablespoon. And then the teaspoon one that comes with it goes all the way from 1/8 of a teaspoon all the way up to a teaspoon. They're great. And you can pair them with the limited time cinnamon that we have, the Kurunti cinnamon from Indonesia. That would be a really nice gift. Or the cinnamon plus seasoning, which is like our apple pie / pumpkin pie seasoning. You can pair it with that, or our double strength Madagascar bourbon vanilla. All 3 of those spices and vanilla are only available through the holiday season, or until we run out of them. All right, so 2 tablespoons of honey, 6 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 4 green onions, which mine are already chopped up because they were in the freezer. And that is the recipe for the sauce. I'm stuck in the Ziploc. I always put them in the Ziploc bag and put them in the freezer. All right. Just gonna take a 2-second break and stir my food over here again because I want my cabbage to cook down. This is a good recipe because it's got a lot of veggies. So, you know, I like these all-in-one kind of recipes. All right. Let me take this off here. So I got my deluxe cooking blender. I'm going to turn it on. The first thing you're going to notice is it says lid because it will not work without the lid. I'm going to put the lid on, but it still says lid because I haven't closed it. Once you close it, you're good. We're going to use the pulse setting. So you just want to get this. The sauce isn't pretty, but it's got a great flavor. It actually says to put some sriracha in it, but I don't like hot things, so I just skipped that. So there's my sauce. Once all of my food is cooked down, you know, my vegetables have cooked down a little bit more, I will stir my sauce in, and then we will eat it. And that is the whole recipe. It's super simple. Requires a food chopper, a blender, a skillet, a spatula, and a measuring spoon. Very, very simple. Really easy. If you're looking for the recipe, go on my website and look for it. But egg and roll are two separate words. I had trouble finding it today because I didn't realize there were two separate words in the recipe. So if you are interested in cooking on camera like I do, let me know, because I'm always looking for people to join my Pampered Chef team. It's busy holiday season coming up, and you could make some good money. And if you liked this recipe, please share this video with your friends. Thanks so much.